growing up, I was a very small, short, fat brown kid. And, I used to get all the comments, my sister, my mom, everybody like, oh, you're so fat. My cousin would call me fat. And, I tried to shrug it off, but, it was annoying. Like, nobody likes being called fat, being insulted, especially when you're that young growing up. I was always very self-conscious about what I was eating. And, like, even though I was hungry, I never would continue to eat because I'd be like, when I was around people at least, I would be like, if I eat one more thing, they'd be like, oh, you're so fat. Why are you always eating this much? That's why you're so fat. And so it was really tough growing up, right? I was like a typical short, fat, brown kid. And, like, I was like funny and like, relatively smart in school. But, I still got, like, I didn't get bullied, but, I got like, people made fun of me. They would like grab me over here or they would like play with my flabs or whatever, right? And I was like, I think at my worst, I was like 5'4", 204 pounds. And you couldn't really tell by the way I looked, because I guess I kind of held it well. But like my thighs are huge, my stomach was like always bulging, my back had lots of fat just gushing out. And I hated it, man. I hated it with everything. Especially because my dad was a very skinny guy. So it was like looking like next to him, I just looked so big, and I was like younger and whatever. But once I finally hit I was like 16, 17, and I was like, yo, I need to go to the gym, because that's what I knew I had to do, right? Because I had to lose weight one way or another, and I knew it was gonna take a long time. Nonetheless, I went, and it was such a steep process, because I would go, and because I was 16, I had to go with my mom, right? And she would never be going, so I would only go like once a week, and we ended up only going like 3-4 times in the year or something, right? And then we had to wait for her membership to be over so that we could make a new one for me, right? Because it was at Planet Fitness. And then at 17, I finally made one. And then it was like late when I was in 17 because I was still in school, and so I had to go back and forth. I had a long commute. And when I came back, I would try to go to the gym every night, but I wasn't going that seriously. And then when I was finally 18, I started working. No, actually, I was still going to Planet Fitness, right? But I also got a job at Planet Fitness. So my membership became free and stuff, but, I was still working out consistently. No, actually, I'm lying. 17, I was working out, and then COVID hit. And then I turned 18 during COVID. And then after COVID hit, gym shut down and everything, that's when I started really when COVID hit, that's when I really hit my peak, and I was like, okay, like, because like after I was 17, I was like losing a little bit of weight, but I wasn't going consistently at all. And I wasn't even weight training. I was just going in there doing cardio for like an hour, hour and a half. Like I would go on the treadmill for 45 and an elliptical for 45. And I would just watch Netflix. I would watch Criminal Minds. And that was the only way. And like, if you're doing that and then you go home and eat a bunch of food, you're not really working anything out. Nonetheless, I lost a little bit of weight, like very little. And then I gained it all back during COVID. And then that's when I was like at my peak, like weight wise. And then, and at that point, it was like the end of my high school. And I remember I was, I got made fun of in high school too. Initially, like all the really fat times was when I was in middle school and high school. I got a little bit better, but then high school was a whole nother issue because I had like cystic acne, so I was on medicine, so I couldn't go to the gym during that time either for like 9 months. And then, yeah, everything just kept delaying me from going to the gym, so I just kept being, I was continuously to be fat. And then when I was 18, and then this was like November 2020 when the gyms finally opened up again, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm taking the gym serious from now on. And I did. I cut off the one, like I barely go with partners, but I was going with my cousin for a little bit, and then I cut him off because he wasn't taking it serious enough. And so then I have so much pictures of me like, okay, this is how we're gonna take serious now. And I started going to the gym, and now here, 3 years later, I've gone through multiple transformations. I went from 204 to like 175, 180, 185. Right now, I'm 189, but like, I'm like pretty lean. Not lean, I'm not that lean. I don't care to be like stage lean or nothing, but my abs can show, I have chest development, my arms show, I'm pretty vascular. And like, I want to have a beach body look, not a bodybuilder look, nothing like crazy. I just want to have decent aesthetics, right? But going to the gym really changed my life. And I feel like it's such a proper hobby to have, because if you enjoy going to the gym, now it's like a good hobby to have because you're around people, you're active around with your body, and it's also good for your health, right? You live longer, you care more about what's going into your body diet-wise, you take supplements, like it starts really getting you so health conscious that you start doing all the things that you're supposed to do that you normally don't do, right? So all these other things just get tied in, and it's like your routine gets better. Like I shower twice because I shower twice because I shower in the morning and I shower after the gym. I sleep better. I have fasted diet. I always fast because I don't want to eat right before the gym because then I feel too lethargic. Nonetheless, you just need to get yourself into the gym because all the benefits that come with it are so beneficial. And it's like, I don't know what the typical excuses, I've heard people say like, I have no motivation, I don't know what to wear, I don't know what to do there. It's all the typical bullshit, right? And first of all you need to do is just go into the gym, okay? Whatever gym is near you, it doesn't have to be a bodybuilder gym, go to Planet Fitness, go to whatever, right? Just all you have to do is get ready, whatever you would wear to school when you had gym, where everybody has a pair of sweats, everybody has a t-shirt, and everybody has sneakers, right? Wear that, doesn't matter what you're wearing, nobody's gonna look at you. I'm telling you that right now, nobody's looking to look at you, right? You go in there and just get yourself within the environment, right? Go on the treadmill, everybody knows how to walk, right? Turn it on, walk a little bit. And like, I didn't touch weights for like a year or 2 years or something crazy because I was like, oh, I don't want to become a bodybuilder. I don't want to be like the guy who walks and doesn't fit into doorways. That's bullshit. Because that's like a myth in your head. For you to get to that size would take such a long amount of time, and most likely you would have to take PEDs. So trust me, you will never get to that size. Like, I've been working out consistently for like 3 years now, almost like in the past 3 years, especially my first 2 years, when you're like a newbie, you get the craziest amount of gains. And I probably, in the like a whole year of 365 days, I probably went more than 330 days each of those years, like the first year and second year, because I had nothing else to do, right? It was post-COVID, my school was online, I didn't work a job. My gym was like a 5-minute walk from my house, but all I did was go to the gym because all I cared about was losing weight and just transforming my body because I hated being fat, right? All I did was use the fuel and anger that, like, when I would be in situations where I couldn't eat the way I wanted to eat and everybody would call me fat and I couldn't get the girls that I wanted. All of that needs to be constantly playing in your head, and you need to use all those like snide comments to really get you driven. Just get into the gym, because once you get in there, like I said, get in there, get in the environment, and you'll like see like nobody cares what you're wearing, nobody cares about what you're doing. You can do things wrong and you're gonna do things wrong. I still do things wrong and I'm working out for 3 years now. And so once you just get in there, do the basics, you'll see, like, if you have to, use the regular machines, there's little diagrams, and if you don't even know how to read the diagrams, like literally just type in the machine's name on Google and watch how to do it, right? Do that, do some cardio, and then once you just get acquainted with this being in the gym, it gets easier going in, because the first thing is this, it's like most people know how to work out essentially, or like move their body or use their body essentially. It's just the fact of getting into the gym, which is the hard part. So like I said, wear whatever you need to wear. Go to whatever local cheap gym that you can get into. And if you don't even want to pay for it, most of these gyms have free passes. You just have to look online, find a finesse, put in your email, do whatever the bullshit, get in there, right? And then once you're in there, don't worry about friends, don't worry about looking for people, don't worry about none of that. Just do what you ever have to do, and just do that for like 1 week. Don't go, you could go for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? Just go in there, do the bare minimum, and then after a week, you'll see how much better you feel. And then if you can just do that for 1 week, you know it's also possible for you to do it for 3 weeks. And at that point, you'll build a habit, right? And once you're in there, it's like, if you were in school or whatever, right, and you learned a new subject and you were like, oh, I'm actually kind of interested in this, you would do your own research on it, right? And you'd be like, okay, how do I do this better, whatever. If you just do that little bit of 5, 10, 15 minutes of research on the computer, on your phone, whatever, you have free time, after you go to the gym, be like, oh, so how do I grow my arms? How do I grow my legs? How do I grow my butt if you're a girl, right? They will literally show you everything. Everything is online. All the research you need is right there on your phone. Instead of you scrolling that one every day, you're on your phone 4 or 5 hours. Like, I know everybody's screen time. Instead of scrolling on TikTok for 15 minutes, use that 15 minutes and just look up how to grow arms. And then just literally whatever you see, just copy it. Even if you do it wrong, I've done so many like exercises wrong, and it still grew parts of my body in ways that I didn't want it to, but it still like it improved. Like, even though you didn't do the thing that you wanted, it still got you a little bit higher. Like, you progressed, right? Like, when I used to first do dips are like you gotta go like this, right? Like on the machine or whatever. And I used to do them so wrong, because you're supposed to lean forward and you're supposed to have your chest tightened so it like contracts properly, right? I did it so wrong that it grew my shoulders instead, because all my weight would go like this and I didn't bend, so it would just go like this. Nonetheless, none of that matters, right? If you are in the gym, you understand what I'm talking about. You just need to get yourself into the gym, do the bare minimum, do some research on what to do, and then don't worry about your diet, don't worry about calories in, don't worry about calories out, none of that, right? All you need to do is set a goal of, do I want to lose weight? Do I want to gain weight? Do I want to put on muscle? Do I want to, it's really not even that. It's, do I want to lose fat or do I want to put on muscle, right? It's either or, right? If you're skinny, you don't want to put on muscle. If you're fat, you want to lose weight, right? And get yourself in the gym, like I just told you to. And after you do that, now it's just, how long can you do it for? Can you do it for a week? If you can do it for a week, you can do it for 3 weeks. And after you do it for 3 weeks, it becomes a habit. It'll be like, after that third week of you consistently doing it, it'll feel awful for you not to go. And at that point, you're almost like addicted to it. And it's like, you shouldn't be addicted to anything, but this is a good addiction, especially if you need to be in the gym. Because like if you work an 8-hour job, like an office job, and you're sitting around all day, your body's not getting enough movement. It doesn't matter what you eat, what you do, you're still not getting enough active calories burned because you're just sitting around all day, you're slumped, your body's not moving. How like, you need to be getting everything. You need to be moving a lot. Like the easiest way to lose weight is to move more or eat less. And eating less is not easy, especially if you're a fat person. Like you have a bigger like stomach essentially, so you need to fill it up more. So whatever you eat is never enough. And so the only other way to make sure you lose weight is to move more. So going to the gym is like such an easy hack to move more because you're like burning calories on the treadmill, or if you're doing weight training, it makes you sweat, and over time if you build enough muscle, your calories are burning at a faster rate while you're sleeping and stuff. But that's all extra science that you don't need to know. All you need to know is put on whatever you need to put on. Use all the snide comments that you can get, that you've been getting, or that you know you're gonna get in the future as motivation. Clear your mind of everything else. Like the only things be in there is the comments to drive your motivation. Get into the gym. Do it consistently until it becomes a habit, right? That's all you need to do. You don't need to have a good workout. You don't need to have perfect form. You don't need none of that. You don't need to have a good outfit. You don't need to make friends. You don't need none of that. You just need to go in there and do the bare minimum until it becomes a habit. And then in your spare time, every day, just 5-10 minutes. That's literally nothing. You could do it at work. You can do it in the shower. You can do it on the toilet. Just look up whatever like your biggest concern is. Oh, I have really small arms. Oh, I want a bigger butt. Or how do I make my stomach smaller? How do I make my biceps bigger? Whatever, right? Don't even look up the muscle. Don't look up bicep, tricep, none of that. Look up how to make arm bigger, right? And like if you want, you can even put Reddit at the end of that on Google, and you'll have real people in forums telling you, oh, do this and that, do this and that. And then you apply that information while you're going into the gym. Like, okay, this guy said that I should just use whatever weight I find, the smallest one, and I can just have to do this. My arms will get bigger. And all you have to do is just do that, and you do it for a long enough period of time, you're gonna see gains. And it's harder to see it on yourself, like in like real time or whatever. But if you do it correctly, you'll see maybe your vein pops out, or like you look vascular or whatever. If you don't have that much muscle, it doesn't matter, right? Take pictures before you start, right? And you know another way to get motivation, before you even get into the gym, right? Take pictures of yourself, right? Showing off like, in boxes or whatever the case may be, right? And be like, okay, in a week from now, I'm gonna look even the tiniest bit of different, right? And you might not, depends on how much you work out, whatever, right? But in 3 weeks, I guarantee there'll be a difference. I guarantee it, right? So take a picture when you initially start. Look at those pictures, be like, damn, I do not look good. Who would want to sleep with this person? Like, I look ugly and fat and disgusting. And then get yourself into the gym. And in a month or 3 weeks, when it's become a habit, once you've been doing the little things that you've been researching and, getting into the gym, you take the picture again and you're like, whoa, I actually look different. And that like feedback loop, it's like so fulfilling. You won't even understand. I wish I took so much more pictures, but I was so like embarrassed that I was fat because I didn't know how possible it was for me to get in shape. And it was like a possibility. Know that it is a possibility. Everything is possible in this world. As long as you try and do not quit, it will happen. It will happen. I guarantee it will happen. So after that month, you take the picture, and when you start comparing, like, oh my God, I look so much more different. And the progress, it becomes so addicting that you're just not gonna stop. Like as long as you have that progress, and you're not the type of person to quit, and you continuously desire to have a transformation and to be in shape and to feel good about your body, be healthy, and all the benefits that come with it. And it's even like beyond just the transformation and how you feel about yourself and how you look. There's so much more benefits that you will only understand once you're in it and you actually achieve it. And I could go into all of that, but it differs from person to person, I feel like, maybe. But like what achievements I feel and the way it changed my mind, it can also happen for you, but you won't believe it if I just tell you. So you need to go through it, look at the difference in pictures, get obsessed with the progression, and just keep doing it for a long enough time period. Do it for 3 months, then do it for 6 months, do it for a year, and I guarantee after a year, And if you're like really, really in horrible shape, which would just be that much more motivation, do it for a year, 2 years, your body will, you won't even recognize yourself. And it's so fulfilling that you literally will feel like you can accomplish anything in your life. And I feel like it's like one of the biggest hacks in life for you to be accustomed to knowing that you can get that level of success. If you can do it in the gym, you can do it at school, you can do it in business, you can do it in knowledge, whatever it may be. It's just getting that, like the gym is almost the easiest way to get this sort of like confidence that you can achieve anything in this life. So I'm telling you, whatever I said, this was like the easiest guide. I didn't complicate it with anything. I didn't tell you what workouts to do. I didn't put out any diet. I didn't do nothing. I'm just telling you, get in the gym and watch how it changes your life.